News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Another threat on Donald J. Trump's life. And it's amazing. They did tag and bag the guy. We don't have a lot. We have this. Ronald Lee, blah, blah, blah. However you pronounce this guy's name. It's irrelevant. Made threatening posts on social media targeting Trump over a period of 2 days. Arizona authorities did get him into custody. The Cochise County Sheriff's Office. This is where Trump was actually giving his presser today, his press conference. And by the way, he was with Jocelyn Nungare's not widow, but his father. The family was there. I believe the mother was there, too. And they both said that we need Trump. We need to vote for him. Another Hispanic, but this is an angel parent. Her daughter was raped brutally for 2 hours by two of Kamala's rapists that she brought in. And under her purview and her watch as the border czar. And they raped her for 2 hours, a 12-year-old girl. They strangled her and took her pants off and left her like the person that saw her as he was dropping off his loved one to work looked down into the ravine and thought he saw a mannequin. No, that was a beautiful 12-year-old that was murdered by one of Kamala's illegals that she brought in. It's vile, it's filthy, it's disgusting. So he was there at the same time. You know what? He was out there and he was giving his press conference and he had no idea. Do you know how he found out? Fox News just reported this like in the past hour or so. He found out by a reporter who asked him on the scene. He was not told. He went out there and spoke. And there was no bulletproof glass, but that's because it wasn't a big event. It was a small controlled event in a remote area. But he was asked about it, and here's was his very presidential response.
I have to do my job. It's a job. It's a dangerous job, but I have to do my job. This is so sad, but this border is so dangerous. It's so bad and so horrible to people. They're losing children, wives and husbands, and it's just a horrible thing. And we can stop it.
This 66-year-old who was threatening Trump's life on social media for 2 days, Ronald Lee, blah, 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 is in custody. I can't pronounce his last name to save my life. Without incident, arrested around 2:30 local time in Cochise County. I don't know. There's mountain. There's all sorts of weird times on that side of the country. I don't know what time it is. I don't care. I got to Google it. Anyways, it happened a couple hours ago or so. Whatever. He's in custody. He has an outstanding warrant in the state of Wisconsin for DWI. Boy, he's kind of like, what's his name? Walls, except Walls got arrested on site and then lied about it and all that kind of stuff. But and blamed, he claimed it was because it was military service. He couldn't hear anything. I thought he was being chased. Yeah, the chase happened after you eluded police. Anyway, outstanding warrants for DWI in Wisconsin, hit and run, felony, failure to register as a sex offender, multiple things there in Arizona, Graham County. Anyway, so he was in the same county as Trump. That tells me he was really serious about trying to kill Trump, just in my little novice experience. This comes only, last month was the assassination attempt. Last month, which is, I've told you this, it's a political lifetime. That's why the Democrats may be basking today in Kamala's glory with no policy and all joy. But that doesn't mean anything because a month from now, where are you going to be? Look where Trump's at. He might as well not have ever been assassinated, the attempt to assassinate him. So this is another attempt. And, last month it was an actual physical attempt. This month there's a threat that had a all points bulletin alert. They had choppers in the sky and everything. I want to ask you a few questions. Do you think, now this was recommended to me by a colleague to ask this question. I don't think so at all, but I'm going to ask the question because some do. Do you think the deep state's trying to get Trump one way or another? Do you think the deep state is actually trying to get Trump, take him out one way or the other? Okay, we've got some people here nodding their heads. Yes, I don't think so, but I do believe, and I have said actually in the last month with the attempted assassination that they literally laughed about him and gave him the minimum and said, screw that guy, blah, 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 ha, ha, ha. And that led to him actually being so easily to get picked off and why he almost was killed. I don't think they intentionally did it, but I think they intentionally gave him crappy protection because they hate him. Minimal protection. I swear to you, I think that's true. Do you think the deep state's trying to get Trump one way or the other? If you were the Democrats tonight, do you think it would be wise to attack Trump like they've been doing the past 3 nights? Viciously and negatively and personally? Obama talking about how he basically Obama said he has little hands, which means he's got a little Johnson. Just Mrs. Hussein Obama, Michael, and Barack Hussein Obama were both personal and nasty, as was J.D. Pritzker, and there were several. There's been so many personal attacks and lies about him. So if you were the Democrats tonight, would it be wise? Do you think it would be wise to just not attack him? Because I do believe their rhetoric has led to these multiple attempted assassinations, the hatred and the visceral attacks and the lies, and trying to dehumanize him and make him subhuman has contributed to people wanting to kill him. And tonight we got a second man. How much you want to bet he's on social media attacking Trump? You know, the left tried to spin off, and the media tried to spin off the guy that actually shot bullets at Trump. They tried to pretend he was a Trump supporter. Remember that? Yeah, I support Trump while I'm killing him. He had about 8 tweets, he had 8 social media posts that I read to you on the air of him saying how Biden was great, all the border stuff was a lie, and Trump's bad. He hated Trump, just like the Democrats teach you to hate Trump. And just like they've been telling you for 3 days to hate Trump, I think they'd be wise to stop attacking him personally, but I don't think it'll stop them. They're allowed to attack him viscerally, and when they cause violence against their candidate they're up against, they can do it. It's not their fault. But then when somebody gets attempted assassination like Gabby Giffords, they lie and say that Sarah Palin and others have said things and done things. They've done no such thing. You guys are the one who said, we're coming for you, Gorsuch. You guys are the one that said there's a bullseye on Trump in a meeting Joe Biden did, like a week before the week of the assassination attempt. That's them. I do believe their rhetoric has led to this happening. So do you believe Barack and Michelle and other Democrats' vicious attacks on Trump have contributed? That's a better way of putting it. Contributed to these continued assassination efforts. And how do you think this is going to affect Trump's polling? We have fight, 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 and that's back in the news today. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Lines wide open. Chime in right now. We'll put you right on. Do you think the deep state's actually trying to get Trump one way or the other? If you were the Democrats tonight, do you think it'd be wise to attack him or abstain? And do you feel Barack, Michelle, and all the Democrats' vicious attacks on Trump have contributed to these continued assassination efforts? And how do you think this is going to affect Trump's polling? I don't know. I can't imagine hating somebody so much that you continue to want him dead after 2 people one has actually shot bullets at him and hit him in the ear. It's just disgusting what happened to him last month. And now this month is a manhunt for a guy who says he's going to kill him, who they find in the same county that Trump's in. So I do blame the Democrat rhetoric as having contributed to the continued assassination attempts. I do believe the Democrats contribute to it. I do believe the hatred of Trump is so bad and disgusting that they did not protect him to where they should have protected him on purpose because they hate him and laugh at him behind his back regarding the Secret Service. That's unequivocal to me. And I do feel the Democrats' rhetoric has contributed to this. And I don't know how this will affect his polling, but I would like to think it would at least make people think twice about hating him, voting against him, and why do so many people want to kill him? Why does this never happen with Democrats? And it's not because they're nice and kind, because they're not. I'll give you more details about the Arizona man who has been taken into custody this afternoon after saying he's going to go kill Trump with a massive manhunt. We've got 3 lines open at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. We'll talk to you coming up next. We'll talk to Roy in DeSoto. This will be very interesting. He disagrees with me almost every time. It'll be very fascinating with Roy said. I can't wait to talk to him. Coming up next to the Chris Crock Show, plus your call on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. And I'll tell you what we know of this attempted assassin or threatening man who's been caught, what we know of his social media trail. Do we have any of that yet? I'll tell you that next at 16 after the hour. News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Nothing as of right now. I searched and searched and searched, looked everywhere. Nothing on the man who was threatened to kill Trump on social media, and there was a manhunt on for him in the same county Trump was in, and they bagged him and tagged him this afternoon. The questions are, do you think the deep state's trying to get Trump one way or the other? And I don't. I think they intentionally did not give him the coverage he needed with the Secret Service because they don't like him, because they're part of the whole, I don't call them the deep state, I just call them they're part of the leftist machine that is our government. And were you the Democrats tonight? Excuse me, if you were the Democrats tonight, do you think it would be wise to attack Trump personally, or portray him in a personally nasty light like they have been doing? And do you feel Barack and Michelle and other Democrats' vicious attacks on him have contributed to these continued assassination efforts? And I say contributed, not fully responsible, but contributed by dehumanizing him. And how do you think this will affect Trump's polling? You think he'll go up at all from this, get a bounce from yet another person trying to kill him? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Roy in DeSoto, WBAP.
Yes, I do not think that the deep state is responsible for trying to assassinate the former president. That's the answer to the first question. The second question is, or my answer to the second question is, I do think that the rhetoric on both sides is very dehumanizing, despicable, and it leads people to incite violence based upon what they hear from both perspectives. And one of the reasons that I say that is because I can't remember the young lady's name, but she was a former staff person of Donald Trump. She spoke at the Democrat National Convention.
Hope Hicks.
And she mentioned about
it wasn't Hope Hicks, it was another one. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. But she mentioned about all of the death threats. She didn't say anything negative. She simply shared the stories of what she considered to be some immoral, again, I'm not saying he did. I'm saying what she considered to be immoral behavior while she was there. She just told her truth. And because of that, there are death threats that are out on her life. And then even some of the comments that are made from people on the right when you say that Kamala Harris has ushered rapists and drug dealers into the country, that's a lie.
That's actually true.
Ushered. She has. Do you know what an usher is? An usher is a person who escorts.
She's personally responsible for allowing millions and millions of illegals to come in our country, who are raping, murdering, and beating and killing our people, women, men, all over this country, children.
One quick question.
Mm-hmm. That's just a fact. That's not a personal attack or a deep. It's not. Hold on one second. Friend, relax. Okay. That is not a personal vilification of her personally. That is not dehumanizing. That is criticizing her policies. That is saying she's responsible for getting these people in here and allowing them. She single-handedly oversaw the border operation. She was the point man. She was called the czar by MSNBC, by CNN, and by others in Axios, all these leftist publications at the time, and now they try to pretend it doesn't. But the point is, she's responsible. She and Joe Biden brought them in here. And that's not a personal attack. That's just a policy attack. It's their fault that people are in here murdering and killing us. Raping us.
Only one response, and my response would be there were people who got into the country illegally during the Trump regime, during his presidency, who raped and killed people. Who? Why don't you say Trump was...
Can you name one victim?
Yes, I can. A young lady by the name of Eliza Gomez.
Mm-hmm. And what year did she come in?
In the year of 2017.
Now, would you tell me this?
She was killed in 2017. Okay, I'm sorry.
Would you tell me this? Why do you think that 12 million illegals have come in under Kamala and Joe Biden in 4 years?
I don't have those figures, and I cannot verify or deny those figures,
right.
And I won't attempt to. Because
do you actually think that they? Okay. By the way,
I've heard 9 million. I've heard 10 million.
Yeah.
I've heard 4 million.
Why do they allow these illegals to flood our country and take all the Trump border measures, immediately undo them? Do you agree with that?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm glad you're honest about that. Now, the vilification, though, you've only talked about Republicans. Do you not believe Democrats are just as responsible for vilification? I mean, is Trump the only one that's got open assassination attempts on him, bullets flying at him, hitting him, and yet he's the one who's a jerk and they're not being jerks too? Is that what you're telling me?
I opened by saying I think it's taking place on both sides.
Yeah. Can you name one on your side?
Yes, I can name one on my side when individuals are calling him a lunatic and calling him
Democrats are calling Trump a dictator. How about when they say that he's a dictator, he'll destroy democracy and all that stuff? I appreciate your call, Roy. Always appreciate your call. It's good to debate. Appreciate you.
Can I ask you just one final question?
Real quick.
Did he say himself he wanted to be a dictator for one day? It was a joke, dude. Is he allowed to joke? Is he allowed to joke? Every night when I called, everything he says is a joke.
No. That was a joke.
Anything he says.
Okay, so he said, do you actually think he'll be a dictator, though? Do you?
I think he will try to. Almost definitely, yes.
Is that based on his 4 years? Was he a dictator for 4 years? Was he a dictator for 4 years? Okay, well then there you go. You've destroyed your own argument. Nobody thinks he was a dictator over the 4 years. I appreciate. In fact, they think their bank accounts were beautiful. They think their pay was beautiful. They think inflation was low. Gas prices were low. They're twice the value of they are right now. Insurance. Let me see. I got the rates right here. I got a nice little chart sheet of what people think of his versus them. There was no war in Ukraine. There was no war in the Middle East. Americans, we got 8 Americans held hostage by Hamas. There were no hostages by Hamas. Gas is up 50% since Trump left office. Electricity is up 31% since Trump's left office. Groceries are up 21% since Trump left office. Rent is up 22%. Restaurant prices are up 23%. Your cost of living is up and your income is down. If that's dictatorship, we'll all have some dictatorship on day one, sir. Thank you very much. Syed in Dallas. He thinks about the deep state is trying to go after him. We'll talk to him coming up next. And I'll give you a little more intel on the assassination attempt, not the assassination attempt, but the attempt on Trump's life and how they took him down. Next at 33 after the hour, and then we get into Kamala hiding policies, unknown candidate from worst rated VP of all time to the new Obama hope and change. That's coming up at 33 after the hour as well on the Chris Crock Show, WBAP. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288 WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. All right, we're talking about the second potential attempt on Trump's life. The first one, actually, we know bullets hit him. But this one is a brand new threat that came out today. Apparently, this man who's got several warrants out for his arrest for some time now, went to the actual county Trump was in today, and all we know is it was a massive manhunt in the air, on the ground, and everywhere to find him. They finally caught him late this afternoon, our time, I believe, mid to late this afternoon, and he's in custody. And so what we do know is that Trump had no idea at the time he was notified. It was Fox News' Alicia Cunha that literally asked him whether the threats against him that sparked the manhunt made him want to change the way he does his events. He said, "I've heard about that, but I have to do my job. It's a job. It's a dangerous job, but I have to do my job." Here's a little bit more of what he said as well. Here we go.
I have to do my job.
That's it.
It's a job. It's a dangerous job, but I have to do my job. This is so sad, but this border is so dangerous. It's so bad and so horrible to people. They're losing children, wives and husbands, and it's just a horrible thing. And we can stop it.
Well, there he is. And my questions for you on this are, do you think the deep state's trying to get Trump one way or the other? And if you were the Democrats tonight, do you think it would be wise to attack him or maybe instead lay off the guy? You think, personally at least? My gosh, can we stop trying to dehumanize our opponents? And do you feel Barack and Michelle and other Democrats' vicious attacks on him have contributed to these continued assassination efforts? And how do you think this is going to affect Trump's polling? I mean, last month it was fight, 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 and a bullet to the ear, and now it's happening again. This time there's no bullets flying, but there certainly could have been. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Syed, you're on WBAP in Dallas.
Hi, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. The deep state has money. Deep state has media. Deep state also has people who are very impressionable, lefties. Everybody knows that half of them are crazy, and probably more than half are on some psych medicines. These people are very impressionable. And from the time Trump came the first time, you can see how much media has actually shown his cut off head, his bullet in the head, or stuff like that.
Yes.
It's just floating all over the place. So, absolutely. Now, sometimes actions are more louder than the words or the thoughts, but in this, actions are already there.
Right.
They are impressioning people who are impressionable, and one of them is going to take the action. And this is, I think this is deliberate, because this has been their desire since the very first time he announced for presidency run in 2015-16 till even right now, because they cannot let go of the power they have, That's practically what it is.
Yeah.
It's the addiction to power, and they have created this massive media campaign, including the time when Biden came and said that put a bullseye on him. There's no other meaning of putting a bullseye on somebody
than to kill him.
Than to kill him.
Yeah.
And if you're going to come into national TV and say, this is time to put a bullseye on somebody's going to do it.
And last night, 22.8 million people were watching the DNC, and they watched Mr. Hussein Obama and Mrs. Michael Hussein Obama attack him and get personal and get nasty about it. And several other Democrats like J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is ad infinitum. And it leads to that narrative and encourages people. There was the radical leftist MSNBC viewer who shot up and almost killed Steve Scalise at the congressional baseball game that they did, and they do every year. There was a leftist MSNBC viewer who went into in Washington D.C. I think it was the Family Center or something. There's a family center conservative group, and he went in and wanted to kill them all, and brought in a gun and was going to kill them and stuff. There's multiple different, and there, of course, there's a guy who tried to kidnap and kill the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice Roberts from the Supreme Court Justice. I mean, these are not lone one-offs. And the rhetoric
and ethics.
What's that?
From the time they can kill babies in abortion, the only answer they have on trying to get their way is kill.
I can't. That's true too. It's a cult. It's a culture of death. It's a death cult. But the other thing is, though, I can't think of. I'm sure there's people who are way out there that have attempted to harm Democrats. But the one, Gabby Giffords, was a crazy guy who had no political affiliation. They tried to peg it on what's her name, Palin. That was absolutely factually inaccurate. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but this is insane how many leftists are trying to kill us and our president and our leaders. You
are absolutely correct, but at the same time, most of the lefties are from cities, and most of the cities have high drug use. Yeah. And people who use drugs are extremely impressionable. And 90% of these people who are in the cities are on some psych medicines themselves too. And these do reduce your, control on your impulsive behavior.
I see people. I saw a woman up there speaking about lost her family member to gun violence. And that's inner city type violence. Guns don't commit violence. Isn't it amazing that thugs Whether they be white or black or Asian, doesn't matter. Thugs commit violence. It is not guns. And isn't this disgusting how they seek to portray guns as bad and not people as bad? When every top chiefs of police in every big city says it and knows it and says it publicly, that you've got about 8% of the population committing like 50 to 60% of the hardcore crimes in cities. And those are the ones that progressive prosecutors like Kamala Harris let out to kill and to rape or bail out like she did in the Minnesota Freedom Fund. So it's just it's disgusting to me. It's reprehensible to portray people like you and me as the bad people because we own guns and not the thugs who are killing people and raping them and murdering them. I appreciate your call tonight, Syed. I look forward to your next one.
All right.
Thank you. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Beyonce is the surprise guest tonight. Oh, I'm so shocked she's going to be there, aren't you? I didn't know she was a Democrat, a liberal Democrat. Did you? I didn't know her and Jay-Z, her husband, were liberal Democrats who humped Obama's legs and go on vacation with him. I didn't know they worshipped Obama and Obama worships him. I didn't know that they're leftists for about the past 20 years. I didn't know that. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Beyonce, we've lost. And then the man who is a constant drunkard when he's not on the field. No surprise, Travis Kelce has reportedly asked to be a guest at the DNC. Wow, dude. Oh, my gosh. I'm excited. I'm sure Tay-Tay is going to be there because she's a leftist. She told you to vote for Biden the last time around. So, I mean, she made Biden cookies. Remember that garbage? Dude, we know who all you people are. We know you don't like us. We know that, what's her name, in Taylor Swift in her Nashville hometown there tried to get people to vote out the Republican senator, and she lost. So whatever. This is who they are. They get a lot of the celebrities. It's all good. Oh, the Dixie Chicks. The ones who hate our country and attack our president while they're overseas. Like, oh, gee, I'm shocked they're playing tonight on the Democrat convention. Gee, they attacked George W. Bush when they were overseas, comfortably attacking their president overseas in a foreign land. Gee, they don't like Trump. I'm so shocked. Oh, my gosh, we're going to lose the election. We don't have the Dixie Chicks. Oh, my gosh. They got Beyonce. Oh, my gosh, they got Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Oh, my gosh, I'm so shocked. You know what you guys do? Mick Jagger's a socialist. I'm not voting the way he votes, but he's my number one dude I love. I don't give a frog's fat, you know what he is. As long as he's not murdering people physically or doing things that are untoward that I know of. I don't know, other than being a rock and roll guy. I go to their concerts. I don't vote for them and the people they want. I vote the opposite of these clowns. So what? That's so funny. Feel free to chime in if you want on how that affects your vote. I think you're like a child if you think that affects your vote. I mean, really. But anyway, I'm shocked. I'm so shocked they're going to be there. But I want to get into the policies of Kamala. And we'll carry a couple minutes of her speech tonight like we usually do. We'd like to do 2 or 3 minutes, and then at the very beginning, and then we'll pop in 30 seconds out of every break just to listen to her talk about how she's cracking down on the border. Have you heard she's cracking down on the border? She's a prosecutor who cracks down on the border. She was a... I have audio of you clown! You clown saying illegal immigrants is not a crime. Illegal immigrant. You can't say Merry Christmas. There is no Merry Christmas until all the illegals. They gotta get amnesty. No Merry Christmas. I take back Merry Christmas from you. Bah humbug. Illegals rule. I want to give illegals health care. I raised my hand in the presidential debate just 4 or 5 years ago. But tonight, she's going to start sharing policy. She's going to lift up, I'll show you a little leg, pull up the skirt a teeny bit like the lady on the side of the road trying to get you to stop to pick her up. Just show a teeny bit of leg. Look at me. I'm conservative. I give Trump a run for his money. I was the one against the border invasion. He supported it. He didn't want that piece of garbage bill that would have allowed in 2 million illegals. He shot that down. Why doesn't he want 2 million illegals? Not including the 600,000 that we fly in directly. Joe and I have been flying in directly from Haiti. Two of the guys flew in from Haiti. One raped a little 14-year-old girl in Massachusetts and Boston. And then another one came in. He done raped a woman, an adult woman, a mentally disabled woman. I want to keep that going. 600,000 coming in directly from those countries and another 2 million. Why wouldn't Trump in America want 2.4 million illegals every year? That would only be, let's see, 8 million. What's 4 times? 11.2 million in 4 years. That's a little less than we've done in the past 4 years as voters are. Why wouldn't he want that?
All these speeches, as good as they were, is that she's in the White House right now. Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And for all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country. Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time. And somehow, it's still all Trump's fault, and somehow she hasn't been at the center of it. So to me, that's still the glaring hole in this campaign that hasn't yet been solved at the convention.
Well, and then he said this last night, Scott Jennings, CNN.
Nobody tonight said a damn thing. They want you to vote for a ticket based on absolutely no concrete idea about what they would do once they get in office. You said he got more progressive when he got elected governor. So you're saying every time he gets another office, he gets more and more progressive. I think that's exactly what would happen. Tonight, you did hear people say, well, we may not agree with them on everything, but at least it'll be joyful as they tax us into oblivion. I think the idea that you could run an entire presidential campaign based on the idea of vote for me to find out what's in it.
Wait a minute, Scott.
Terrify every American.
Scott.
It's true. You're supposed to vote for Kamala, not even knowing any of her policies. Just vote for her. You'll have to find out what she'll do once you vote her in. You're voting for Barbie. You feel good. Don't worry about the details. There are no details. There's no policy. If Barbie makes you feel good. The Real Clear Politics polling average says the country's headed in the right direction. 1/4 of all Americans think we're headed in the right direction. So it's the Titanic going down. And now the Wall Street Journal editorial board writing with a reimagined Captain Harris reporting for duty. It just might survive, even though it's a Titanic going down. It'll be about 2 things overwhelming, the Journal says. Federal outlays, much higher levels of federal outlays and greater union control over private economy. So I want to ask you a few things here. How likely do you think Kamala, as she hides, tonight she's going to tell you about how she's reportedly cracking down on the border that she has overseen for 4 years and allowed millions and millions and millions and millions of illegals to invade. And we're talking, one of our liberal callers earlier said he could name one person that came in illegally under Trump that committed a rape or something of that nature. Well, I mean, I could name about 8 of them off the top of my head that I've heard of just in the past 3 months. I mean, this is 4 years now of this massive invasion, unprecedented. How likely do you think Kamala is to win in November as of right now? How likely is she to win in November as of today? And why do you think they're hiding her so much? I mean, do you remember Barack Hussein Obama? Because they're making her look like the new Obama. Barack himself christened her the new Obama 2 nights ago or last night, whenever it was. Do you remember Obama hiding out like this and not sharing his policies with you? No, I don't either. Why are they hiding her so much, you think? Hey, do you feel like she's a Jenga candidate? You know, the game Jenga, where you pull the little bars out or whatever from underneath and then it collapses eventually? Do you feel like she's a Jenga candidate that will fall apart as the campaign continues? Or could they pull off this heist of sorts? And I think it is a heist. They're literally saying over and over again, people and columnists and such are saying that they could go all the way for the next 60, 90 days and just not tell you anything. And what will you think of our country and our people if she actually wins, where people will vote for a feeling without knowing anything about a person, their policies? I think if our country does vote for her on a feeling and with no policies and no facts, we could fall very fast, because it's no longer going to be at all about policy. It's going to be about how I feel, not knowing what you're going to do to me. You know, one of my, I have a younger couple that we're dear friends with, and they've got 2 little kids. He's a Dallas cop, and she was telling me today she's thinking about, her and her husband are thinking about having a 3rd child, but they're worried. She says they're worried. Like, how long before, are we going to have a civil war the way things are going? And I said, no, you need to, I don't want anybody to ever think that you shouldn't have kids because you're worried about the future. That's a cop-out, and that's a mis-excuse. And I'm going to tell you, if you share the values I have, we need to, people like you and me, we need to procreate as much as we can and encourage procreation as much as we can, because we're responsible for making sure we can continue a growth of values, community, faith, love of our country. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I'm going to talk to you about that coming up next. I'll share some more of her policies that are way over the top leftists. We're watching the people come in tonight. Kamala, the cackler, will be giving her main speech tonight, and she'll be telling you how she's the borders out. She is the one to come in and fix the border. This darn border, this economy that she's in charge of over the past 4 years, she didn't do it. She wasn't here for 4 years. She's brand new. She's never even been in office as a vice president. Never. She's going to give you a breath of fresh air. It's all brand new. Everything starts today. Woo! No questions, please. No interviews.